In the dim shadows of solitude, where the echoes of ancient wisdom reverberate through the corridors of the mind, we embark on a journey into the heart of Stoicism, a philosophy shrouded in the enigmatic embrace of aloneness. As we navigate the labyrinth of contemplation, our compass is set to unveil the 8 profound reasons why, in the tapestry of life, the Stoic chooses the solitary path. Join me in this introspective odyssey, not as a mere spectator, but as an eager seeker of the Stoic spirit. Picture a symphony of self-discovery, an alchemical transformation of solitude, and the silent legacy that echoes through the ages. Let the dark, deep tones of wisdom guide you through the reasons why you should dare to be alone, discovering a captivating narrative that transcends the mundane and resonates with the enduring essence of resilience. As we delve into the reasons woven with threads of Stoic philosophy, envision yourself not as an observer but as a participant in this intricate dance of solitude. Together, let us unravel the mysteries, confront the storms, and orchestrate the silent symphony that leads to an unshakable victory in the face of life's tribulations. This is not just a philosophical discourse, it's an invitation to partake in the Stoic legacy, a legacy that beckons you to follow the red thread of wisdom, curiosity, and self-mastery until the final note fades into the echoes of eternity. Join me, fellow seekers, as we explore the profound reasons why the solitude of a true Stoic is a journey worth taking, a journey that demands your attention, your contemplation, and your presence until the very last chord of understanding is struck. Reason 1. Embracing the storm. In isolation, we confront the tempest within. Seneca, the sage of Stoicism, whispers that true wisdom arises when we stand alone, facing the hurricane of our own emotions. It is in this crucible of solitude that the Stoic hones the sword of self-control. In the vast expanse of solitude, the Stoic embarks on a profound journey of self-discovery, confronting the tempest within. Picture the mind as a turbulent sea, where emotions rage like relentless waves. It is in the solitude of our own company that we stand on the precipice, facing the howling winds of our internal storms. Seneca, the venerable Stoic philosopher, speaks to us across time, urging us to embrace this tumultuous sea. He contends that within the chaos of our emotions lies the crucible for true wisdom. The Stoic, like a sailor navigating treacherous waters, learns to harness the power of self-control, steering the ship of the self through the storm with unwavering resolve. In solitude, we don the cloak of introspection, confronting the unruly elements of anger, fear, and desire. The philosopher's solitude is not an escape, but a courageous confrontation with the hurricanes of the soul. It is here, amidst the crashing waves of emotion, that the Stoic learns to hold the tiller of reason steady, guiding the vessel through the tempest. This isolation is not a retreat from the world, but a brave confrontation with the inner chaos that threatens to consume us. Seneca's wisdom echoes through the isolation, reminding us that it is in facing the storm within that we cultivate the resilience to weather the storms without. The crucible of solitude becomes the forge where the Stoic tempers the steel of self-control, emerging from the tempest, not broken, but strengthened. So, in the solitude that society often fears, the Stoic discovers the power to transform the emotional storm into a steady, guiding breeze. Embracing the storm within becomes the first step toward mastering the art of living, a testament to the enduring strength that arises from confronting the chaos and emerging unshaken. Reason 2. The Stoic Citadel. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher slave, reminds us that in solitude, we construct an impenetrable fortress of inner strength. The citadel of the mind, fortified by the discipline to withstand the siege of unruly passions, becomes the stronghold of tranquility. In the silence of solitude, the Stoic constructs an impregnable fortress, the citadel of the mind. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher slave, beckons us to envision this bastion not as a retreat from the world but as a sanctuary for inner strength. The citadel, built brick by brick in moments of solitude, becomes the stronghold against the onslaught of external chaos. Picture this citadel as a majestic structure atop a hill, overlooking the landscape of life. Its walls are made of the stones of discipline, each laid with intention and purpose. In the stillness of solitude, the Stoic hones the tools of self-control, forging them into the weapons that guard this sacred fortress. The citadel is not an isolationist's refuge. It is a haven for the vigilant guardian of virtue. It is where the Stoic, standing at the parapets of the mind, surveys the external world with equanimity. The storms of circumstance may batter against its walls, but within, the flame of tranquility flickers undisturbed. Epictetus implores us to see this citadel not as an ivory tower, but as a practical refuge. In the crucible of solitude, the Stoic refines the art of discernment, distinguishing between what is within and beyond their control. The citadel becomes the vantage point from which the Stoic contemplates life's grand tapestry without being entangled in its intricate threads. As we construct this mental fortress in solitude, we discover that it is not a retreat from the world, but a strategic position from which to engage with it. The Stoic, armed with the shield of self-discipline, faces the challenges of existence with a serene countenance. The citadel, built in the crucible of solitude, stands as a testament to the Stoic's commitment to inner strength, providing shelter not from life's adversities but from their corrosive effects on the soul. Reason 3. Echoes of Marcus Aurelius. As the echoes of Marcus Aurelius reverberate through time, we find in solitude the sacred space where the emperor-philosopher communed with his own soul. In the silence, we unearth the power to transmute adversity into Stoic gold, turning the lead of hardship into the golden wisdom of resilience. In the profound silence of solitude, we find ourselves enveloped in the echoes of Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-king who communed with his own soul amidst the tumult of ruling an empire. The third reason to embrace solitude lies in discovering this sacred space where the emperor-philosopher grappled with the complexities of life. Marcus Aurelius, through his timeless meditations, becomes our guiding luminary in the shadows of solitude. In the stillness, we unearth the power to transmute adversity into Stoic gold, turning the lead of hardship into the golden wisdom of resilience. As the echoes of his introspective musings reverberate, we become witnesses to the intimate dialogue he conducted with his own conscience. In the hallowed halls of aloneness, we emulate Marcus Aurelius not as distant admirers, but as fellow seekers of wisdom. The solitude becomes our own imperial retreat, a place where we confront the dichotomies of joy and sorrow, success and failure, with the same equanimity that marked the Stoic reign of the philosopher-emperor. This reason invites us to step into the shoes of Marcus Aurelius as he faced the weight of responsibilities in the seclusion of his thoughts. The solitude, not a withdrawal from duty, but a deliberate retreat into the inner sanctum where the emperor forged resilience and found solace in the face of life's relentless demands. As we traverse through the corridors of solitude, we recognize that the echoes of Marcus Aurelius are not distant whispers but an ever-present guide. In the dialogue with our own conscience, we draw inspiration from his reflections, understanding that the true Stoic legacy lies not in the grandeur of external achievements, but in the mastery of one's internal empire. Thus, in the echoes of Marcus Aurelius, we discover that solitude is not an escape from the world, but an intimate conversation with ourselves, where the wisdom of the emperor-philosopher becomes a timeless compass guiding us through the labyrinth of life. Reason 4. The Stoic alchemy of isolation. Like alchemists of the soul, we transfigure isolation into a crucible for self-discovery. Seneca's words echo, "He who fears death will never do anything worth of a man who is alive." In solitude, we confront the specter of mortality, transforming fear into the crucible of living a life worthy of remembrance. In the alchemy of solitude, the Stoic transforms isolation into a crucible for self-discovery. Seneca's words echo through the corridors of time. He who fears death will never do anything worth of a man who is alive. The fourth reason implores us to embrace solitude not as a fearful withdrawal, but as a courageous confrontation with mortality, where the lead of fear is transmuted into the Stoic gold of a life lived with purpose. Imagine the alchemist's workshop within, where the raw materials of solitude are subjected to the flames of introspection. In the crucible, the Stoic confronts the existential fears that lurk in the shadows. fears of failure, of insignificance, and ultimately, the fear of our own mortality. It is in this transformative process that isolation becomes the alchemical forge, refining the base elements of anxiety into the golden elixir of resilience. Seneca's wisdom urges us to face the specter of death, not with dread, but with a stoic gaze. In solitude, we grapple with the impermanence of our existence, extracting meaning from the finite nature of life. The Stoic alchemist, through the crucible of isolation, learns to channel the fear of mortality into a driving force for virtuous living. This reason invites us to witness the metamorphosis within the crucible, where the leaden weight of existential fear becomes the catalyst for a life infused with purpose. As we confront the inevitability of our own mortality, the Stoic alchemy of isolation allows us to distill the essence of what truly matters, turning the mundane into the extraordinary. The solitude, far from being a desolate landscape, becomes a sacred laboratory where the Stoic engages in the alchemical dance with their own fears. Through this transformative process, we emerge not as mere survivors but as alchemists of the soul, transmuting the lead of mortality into the golden artistry of a life well lived. Reason 5. Socratic Dialogue with the Self. In the hallowed halls of aloneness, we engage in a Socratic dialogue with ourselves. The questions that echo in the chamber of solitude become the keys to unlocking the wisdom buried within. It is in this inner dialogue that we find the guiding light towards virtue. In the profound solitude where only the echoes of our thoughts reverberate, the Stoic engages in a Socratic dialogue with the self. This reason unfolds as an intimate conversation within the chambers of our own mind, reminiscent of Socrates' method of self-examination. Picture a philosophical symposium where questions become the conduits of self-discovery. As we embrace solitude, we embark on a journey of self-inquiry. The Socratic dialogue unfolds not as a monologue but as a dynamic exchange, where the inquisitive mind confronts its own assumptions and beliefs. The questions, like Socratic meutics, act as midwives to the birth of wisdom, drawing forth insights from the recesses of our consciousness. The solitude becomes the canvas upon which this intellectual dance transpires. Through questioning, the Stoic explores the depths of their values, confronts biases, and unravels the intricacies of virtue. It is in this internal dialogue that the Stoic gains clarity, refining their understanding of the world and their place within it. Imagine the solitude as a philosophical agora, where the mind engages in a dialectical discourse, challenging its own preconceptions. The Stoic, adopting the spirit of Socratic humility, becomes both the questioner and the respondent, navigating the labyrinth of thoughts with the compass of reason. This reason invites us to see solitude not as a lonely exile, but as a hallowed space for self-exploration. The Socratic dialogue with the self is not a solitary confinement of ideas, but a dynamic exchange that leads to the illumination of virtue. Through the introspective questioning, the Stoic unveils the truths that shape their character, forging a connection between the conscious mind and the deep well of inner wisdom. In the symposium of solitude, we, as aspiring Stoics, partake in this intellectual dance, where questions become the stepping stones toward self-mastery, and the solitude transforms into a sanctuary for profound self-discovery. Reason 6. The Stoics' Silent Symphony. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, believed in the silent symphony of the soul. In isolation, we become both the composer and conductor of this internal orchestra. Every note resonates with the harmony of self-control, playing a melody that transcends the cacophony of external chaos. Zeno, the venerable founder of Stoicism, envisioned solitude as a silent symphony of the soul. This reason beckons us to embrace the contemplative solitude, where we become both the composer and conductor of an internal orchestra. Picture the mind as a symphonic hall, resonating with the harmonies of self-control, resilience, and tranquility. In the solitude, the Stoic embarks on the creation of a silent symphony. Each thought, emotion, and impulse becomes a note in the composition of inner harmony. The Stoic, as the composer, chooses the melodies of reason, temperance, and courage to orchestrate a concerto that transcends the dissonance of external circumstances. Imagine the internal symphony as a manifestation of virtue, where the strings of self-discipline resonate with the winds of wisdom, and the percussion of resilience beats in sync with the rhythms of tranquility. It is in this symphonic solitude that the Stoic finds serenity, conducting a silent masterpiece that reverberates through the corridors of the mind. Zeno's vision invites us to witness the beauty of this silent symphony within. The solitude becomes the stage where the Stoic, with the precision of a maestro, directs the internal orchestra toward a harmonious existence. The silent symphony is not a cacophony of chaotic emotions, but a deliberate composition, where every note contributes to the melody of a virtuous life. This reason implores us to see solitude not as a void, but as a canvas for artistic expression, where the Stoic soul becomes the instrument of virtuous living. In the silence, the symphony unfolds, and the Stoic, with a quiet resolve, conducts a harmonious masterpiece that transcends the external tumult, embodying the Stoic spirit in the artistry of self-mastery. Reason 7. The Stoics' victory and defeat. Through the tales of Stoic legends, we learn that victory is not always in conquering external foes, but in mastering the internal battlefield. In solitude, we confront defeat not as a tragedy, but as the Stoics' victory, the triumph of the spirit over circumstance. Through the lens of Stoic philosophy, solitude becomes the arena where the Stoic achieves victory not in the conquest of external foes, but in the mastery of the internal battlefield. This reason unfolds as a narrative of triumph over adversity, where defeat is not a tragedy, but a stepping stone toward the summit of resilience. Picture the Stoics standing amidst the ruins of their own shortcomings, a battlefield strewn with the remnants of shattered expectations and unmet desires. It is in this desolate landscape of solitude that the true essence of victory reveals itself. The triumph of the spirit over circumstance, and the resilience that emerges from the ashes of perceived defeat. The Stoic legends, echoing through time, tell tales of individuals who faced external challenges with an indomitable inner strength. This reason urges us to recognize that victory, in the Stoic sense, is not about avoiding failure but about transforming it into a catalyst for growth. Solitude becomes the training ground where the Stoic refines the art of turning setbacks into stepping stones. Imagine the solitude as a crucible where defeat is not met with despair, but with a Stoic gaze. In this internal battlefield, the Stoic learns to navigate the tumultuous terrain of disappointment, failure, and loss. It is here that the victory is not measured by external accolades but by the unwavering fortitude to stand tall amid the wreckage of unmet expectations. This reason invites us to view solitude as a sanctuary where defeat is not the end but a beginning, a fertile ground for cultivating resilience. The Stoic, having faced the internal adversaries, emerges not unscathed but strengthened. In solitude, we recognize that victory lies not in avoiding the battles of life, but in confronting them with a spirit that remains unbroken, regardless of the external outcome. As we traverse the solitary landscape, we inherit the legacy of Stoic resilience, understanding that the true victory is not in the absence of defeats, but in the unwavering courage to face them head-on, forging a path toward an unshakable inner triumph. Reason 8. The Stoics' legacy. As we walk the path of solitude, we realize that the Stoic legacy is not woven in the grand tapestry of worldly achievements, but in the silent threads of inner fortitude. In this legacy, we find the eternal flame of resilience that illuminates the path for those who dare to tread the solitary road. In the contemplative solitude that Stoicism embraces, we discover that the Stoics' legacy is not woven into the grand tapestry of worldly achievements, but in the silent threads of inner fortitude. This reason unfolds as an exploration of the lasting impact that the Stoic leaves behind, a legacy that transcends the ephemeral and resonates through the corridors of time. Imagine the solitude as a sacred space where the Stoic reflects on their actions, choices, and virtues. It is here, away from the clamor of external validation, that the Stoic forges a legacy that stands as a testament to the enduring power of resilience and self-mastery. The solitude becomes a workshop for the crafting of a life that echoes through history. The Stoic philosophers like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus left behind a legacy not of grand monuments but of profound wisdom encapsulated in their teachings. This reason implores us to recognize that our actions, nurtured in the solitude of self-reflection, contribute to the enduring legacy of Stoicism. The Stoics' legacy is not measured in worldly acclaim, but in the indelible mark left on the collective consciousness. Picture the Stoics' legacy as a flame passed from one generation to the next, an eternal torch illuminating the path of self-mastery. In solitude, the Stoic contemplates not just their own existence, but the ripple effect of their choices on the fabric of humanity. The legacy becomes a beacon of inspiration for those who dare to walk the solitary road, inviting them to embrace the Stoic spirit. This reason invites us to view solitude not as an isolated journey, but as a pilgrimage toward creating a legacy that transcends the limitations of time. In the silent corridors of solitude, the Stoic recognizes that the true impact lies not in external accolades, but in the silent transformation of the self, leaving behind a legacy that echoes through the ages, inspiring others to strive for the timeless virtues of resilience, wisdom, and self-control. In the quiet aftermath of our exploration into the Stoic depths of solitude, let's distill the essence of our journey. We've traversed the landscapes of self-discovery, resilience, and the silent legacy that solitude begets. Now, as we conclude, imagine this as the closing chapter of a profound story, your story. Solitude, for the Stoic, is not a desolate wasteland, but a fertile ground where one cultivates inner strength. It's the symphony of self-control, the alchemy of turning life's challenges into stepping stones, and the legacy that outlasts the passage of time. As you navigate the solitary path, remember this: victory is not the absence of defeats, but the courage to stand tall amidst them. The Stoic legacy isn't etched in stone, but in the choices we make, the virtues we embody, and the impact we have on those around us. So, fellow seekers, let solitude be your ally in this grand journey of self-mastery. Embrace the storms, compose your silent symphony, and leave a legacy that resonates with the timeless virtues of resilience and wisdom. As the echoes of Stoic wisdom linger, carry with you the torch of the Stoic spirit, illuminating the path toward a life well lived. May your solitude be not an escape, but a sanctuary where the Stoic legacy thrives, a legacy that inspires, endures, and echoes through the ages. Until we meet again in the quiet recesses of contemplation, may your journey be filled with the richness of self-discovery and the triumphs that emerge from the resilient core of the Stoic heart. Thank you for watching. If this video doesn't change for the better, please click the dislike button. But this video is useful and makes you better, please like, comment, and share with anyone who is valuable in your life. Join us at Stoic Secret.